Hi everyone, Sarah here. Today we're going to be diving into detachment and disconnection, especially in the realm of beginning or being on your journey, regardless of whether you're in the very beginning phases, in the middle, or you feel like, no, I'm good. I'm more towards the end of that relationship with the emotional abuser, with the one that you experienced emotional abuse and neglect from. So, detachment and disconnection. Generally, those words have a negative connotation. They're ones that describe the experience that you're having with yourself, the experience that you're having within. You're feeling emotionally disconnected and emotionally detached from yourself. And therefore you feel numb, you feel disassociated, you feel like you're not here, that you're present. You are here, but you're not here. Your mind is somewhere off, floating in another world, in another land, and you feel like you don't have any emotional connection to your body, that perhaps you don't have physical sensations and experiences with your body. You're just checked out, just numb. And it's generally perceived as a bad thing. But I want to dive into this and explore this a little bit more with you today. So, detachment and disconnection. There's so many words and phrases that we use, and each one that we use gives us a different experience based on its context. So, detachment and disconnection, are they necessarily a bad thing? Well, I can tell you how significantly my life has changed when I have become detached and disconnected from certain things, i.e., the narcissist in my life. And you can become physically detached and disconnected from them, meaning that you no longer live or reside in the same house. There's a certain energy. Everything is energy. When you're around certain or particular people, they carry that energy, they embody that energy, they express that energy. And when you're in the same roof, under the same roof, and in the same home with the narcissist, for me personally, it felt like I was in a prison. Like when I got home and I pulled the car into the garage and I could hear the sound of the garage door going down, it felt like what it would sound like to hear the metal doors like clang together and the sound of a lock. Like it felt like I was being imprisoned and there were prison bars closing behind me. And I could feel immediately that it became difficult to breathe, and that I didn't know what I was going to walk into, but I knew it didn't feel good. I knew it wasn't going to be embrace and love and compassion and acceptance and understanding. I knew that I could feel my heart start racing. I knew that it's almost like I was preparing for war, preparing for battle. Like, what am I going to be walking into? And even though I had done everything outside of the home to prepare for this, right? Go to yoga, go for a run, clear my mind, get groceries, like do all the things so I could prepare to make dinner so that this was a happy experience in my home. It didn't feel like that. And so when I was no longer in the home with the narcissist, there was a certain element and experience of detachment and disconnection. So that is the beginning of the process and the evolution and the journey, is to physically have a boundary with people who are part of that energy. There's different types of boundaries, and I've got other videos on those. But when you create a physical boundary, you create detachment and disconnection. And that's part of this evolution. That's part of the journey. That's part of the transformation. But it's not the end. It's simply a part of it. And there's so many different parts of it. And it's a very, very important part of it. I often get asked, can you heal if you're still with the abuser? It's going to be extremely difficult, because there's more things at play. There's more things at stake. It's like you're trying to win a war while you're in the war. How can you know it's won when you're still in it, right? So I always say you can't heal in the same environment that makes you sick. It's like mold in a house. If you don't get out of that house, you're going to continue to be exposed to it, and it's going to continue to impact you. It's going to continue to make you sick. And so the short answer, you know, Maybe it's possible, but is it going to be a lot more difficult? Yes. So there is an element of disconnection and detachment, detaching from that. And so many people, myself included in the past, get stuck in that and get stuck in the fear of, how am I going to make it on my own? I don't have enough money. And so many fears that keep you connected and attached to the person who is using and abusing you. So there's work to be done there as well. But detachment and disconnection, in my experience now in life and where I am on this transformational journey, are a very, very, very good thing. They're such a powerful thing. They're such a beautiful thing. They're such a positive thing. So they're no longer words that are like, detached, disconnected. No, I want to be attached and connected. And yes, of course, because when you detach and disconnect from certain things, you have the ability and the capacity to attach and connect to other things. So we're always attached, we're always connected. It's, what are you attached and connected to? So detachment and disconnection are very powerful things and are a very good thing and a very necessary, needed thing to continue to evolve and transform and heal from within. So we have these thoughts that detachment and disconnection are a bad thing. But when we detach and disconnect from the thoughts that they're a bad thing, we find something to connect to. And we find, okay, well, I can attach to different thoughts. And all of our thoughts are based in our beliefs. So if we believe that we're unworthy, we're undeserving, that we're not good enough, that we're not lovable, we're going to find that we're attached to people who portray those beliefs, like the mirror image of that, that we're going to find that our circle are people who are like us. We're often the sum of those who are the closest to us. And we're going to find that the closest to us have similar patterns and beliefs systems, and they're going to say same things. And we're going to go, no, yes. And it's not so much about what they say, it's about the feeling that's generated and created, specifically when you attach to particular things. So when you find that you're attached to someone who you're not attached to, right? You find that you're attached to someone who you think, why do they treat me like this? There's a part of that when you're truthful and honest with yourself, you realize, man, I treat myself like this. There's someone who's constantly putting you down and belittling you and gaslighting you and manipulating you. When you're honest with yourself, when you actually take the time to sit with yourself, you realize, I do that to myself too. So there's a mirror to this. So there's an attachment to that person. And there's also this desire for disconnection and detachment. But if you're also having those same beliefs and feelings and thoughts about yourself, that's the attachment part. So the transformation begins within. I always say that. And yes, it's important to physically have a boundary and remove yourself from that person or that situation and find a different one, find a new one, find a better one. And I'm not saying here, if you're in a narcissistic relationship, go from one to another to start dating or get into another relationship again immediately. No. I'm talking about connecting with yourself. If you truly want to grow and evolve and transform and heal and find yourself in that place where you are receiving what you have always desired, what you desired within the context of that relationship, you've got to find connection to it within yourself first. You've got to detach from the beliefs that you had about yourself in the context of that relationship or experience and find a different connection and a different attachment. So disconnecting from the negative limiting beliefs, from the gaslighting thoughts that you have about yourself because of that person or that situation, and finding connection to empowering thoughts, to empowering beliefs, and those feelings that just light you up, those feelings where you feel powerful, where you feel capable, where you feel able, where you feel worthy, where you feel deserving, not the beliefs and the feelings where you're like, oh, okay, and you feel scared and small and stuck and insignificant and unworthy and undeserving and that you don't matter. And you know what, I'm just going to continue to give and not receive because I don't, I feel bad, I feel guilty, and it kind of makes me like, ugh, like my body, and it generates those feelings within me. So detachment and disconnection from that energy, from that alignment, from those beliefs and those thoughts are a very, very, very good thing, and they're actually a thing that you want, that you need to move towards, because what you desire and what you're moving towards is moving towards you. And what we're moving towards is determined by our attachment and by our connections to our belief systems. And those are what generate and dictate our thoughts and our actions, our patterns, our habits and behaviors, and they're all connected. It's like there's a web of connection. You can look at one strand or one line and just see it as that. But when you pan out, you have a view of the bigger picture and a bigger concept of what's going on. So detachment and disconnection are a good thing. You want to get rid of a spider web. You disconnect it from where it's attached to the wall or the corner or whatever it is. And then suddenly it's disconnected and detached. And then your fear of spiders coming into your house and eating you while you're alive is not there anymore, because I took down all the webs. I disconnected, I detached them, and I sprayed, right? So I feel good now. I'm no longer attached or connected to that fear. Bad analogy, I'm sure, but you get the concept. So disconnection and detachment are a good thing in context. And that's part of this transformation. That's part of the evolution. That's part of the journey that you experience when you go within and you heal those inner emotional wounds and you transform, you rewire, you reprogram, you change those subconscious beliefs that you have about yourself, because those are the ones that dictate what you're attached and connected to. So are you connected to people and energy and places and experiences that leave you feeling worthless, helpless, hopeless, that you're a failure, that you're the total mess up, that it's never going to get better, it's never going to change, it's never going to improve or grow or evolve? Or are you doing what you need to do within to reprogram the subconscious mind so that you can cut the cord and disconnect and detach in a positive way to those things, so now you can connect and attach to things that serve you, beginning with the beliefs that you have about yourself, because those will dictate the thoughts that you have. Those will dictate the experiences that you have. You can have what would seem like a bad experience, and you can come out of it with a positive outlook, depending on the beliefs that you have about yourself, depending on if your beliefs say, I take everything and I learn, I grow, I evolve from it. I am better because of it. Even if other people will go, oh, that's bad. And you're thinking, really? I see the good in all of it. I learned so much. I learned about myself because I was triggered several times during that. And those were opportunities to experience this lesson. What was it going on within me that was triggered? What caused this trigger? Was it a certain look? Was it a phrase? Was it the way that I responded or I reacted instead of responded? And take this as an opportunity to grow and evolve, and take the lessons and leave the rest behind and leave it where it is already in the past, and attach to the positive experience from that. Or are you so attached and connected to the very damaged beliefs about yourself that you're not even able to see that? So detachment and disconnection are a very, very good thing, especially in the realm of healing from past trauma, of healing from emotional abuse and neglect. It just depends. What are you attached to? What are you connected to? What do you need to detach and disconnect from in order to connect and attach to things that better serve you? And that's the inner work that we do, is really, really taking a deep dive, getting to the very core and the very root of the things that you are attached and connected to, detaching, disconnecting from the things that are no longer serving you, that are causing these particular habits and patterns in your life today. Detaching, disconnecting from those, very, very good thing. And attaching and connecting things that better serve you, that allow you to be the real you, that allow you to see the fear and not be afraid of the fear, because fear is not a bad thing. And oftentimes fear is the thing that we perceive is getting in the way, is blocking us, is keeping us from what we want. But fear can also be a very, very powerful motivator, right? If you weren't afraid of falling in love and getting hurt, would you ever take that risk or that chance? Would you ever take it slow? Would you ever actually pay attention what's going on if you weren't afraid of things maybe going the wrong direction? So fear is not always a bad thing. And oftentimes we have this connection and attachment. Oh, I can't do it because I'm afraid. So it's blocking me. I don't know. I'm just going to sit right here. And we go into all this in such a beautiful, deep way inside the program, transforming past pain to present power. Oftentimes that shows up in the me archetype that I talk about all the time, in the gaslighter archetype, where we get in our head and we question and we second guess and we doubt everything, or we just put it off. That me puts it off because I don't know. I'm unknowingly and unconsciously attached to this belief that I'm not good enough, or that it's never going to work out, that it's going to fail, and I'm a failure, and I want to avoid feeling that. So I'm just going to put it off and just say that I'll get to it later. I'll do it later. I don't have time right now. I'm just so busy. I've got a million things to do. I'm just going to stay right here. No, thank you. And then we feel like we get stuck in this evolution of our growth and this journey and this healing that we know we need to embody and to embrace if we're ever going to change. So detachment and disconnection in my world are a very good thing, a very needed thing, a very necessary thing, so that you can reconnect, attach, and connect to things that better serve you, to more empowering beliefs, to more motivating, inspiring, encouraging thoughts within your own mind, because you're with yourself all day, every day, all day, every day. When you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you eat, you're with yourself all day, every day. So why not make being with yourself the best person to be with? Why not make that inner voice your greatest cheerleader? Like that person that you just love being around, because when you're around them, you just feel so good. You feel lit up, you feel turned on, you feel energetic, you feel motivated, you feel inspired, you feel supported, heard, understood, accepted for who you are. Why not make that person you? And there's a connection and an attachment to, I don't deserve for that to be me, and it's not possible for that to be me, because that person that you become inside feels so broken, so damaged, so used, so abused. It's like, I don't know how I'm ever going to become that person or find that person within me. You're talking crazy now. That's all because of the attachments that you have. And there are things within us that need disconnecting from and detachment from in order to reconnect and to connect to things that better serve us. So I'm here to tell you that you can become the person that you love being with most. It does take a powerful transformation, and it does take getting to the very core and the very root of what's causing you to feel stuck in that place now. So detachment, disconnection, very, very good things when they're used in the correct context. So when you're ready to begin that journey and navigate that experience, I'd love to guide you. I'd love to support you. I'd love to motivate you and encourage you. I would love to see you and find you inside of our container, where collectively we support and encourage each other along this journey. Or if you're more interested in working one-to-one together, that is an available option as well. You can find out more details on my website or using the links in the description below this video. All right, guys, until next time, yes, detachment and disconnection are very good things when used in the right way. Sending you so much love, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.